You just heard it top of the hour on the news from Fox News. Taylor Swift is Time Magazine's Person of the Year. And I'm reading through this multi-thousand-word piece, and I just did a Control F, looking for the word Kelsey, because I wanted to see how it ties into Kansas City, how they're wrapping the Travis Kelce storyline into Taylor Swift being the Time Person of the Year. And there's a few mentions of Travis Kelce that I'll get to here momentarily. But there's one part of this quote that stands out to me in this Time piece about the relationship with Travis Kelce. And I respect the heck out of this from both of them. I know it's in vogue right now to be like, Taylor Swift's ruining the Chiefs. No, I'm pretty sure it's the fact that they don't have anyone who can get separation in the secondary. I'm pretty sure it's not Taylor Swift sitting, hey, Taylor Swift is taking this team down. No, that's not the case. They have an offensive line that can't get out of its own way at times, and they have nobody who can create separation in the secondary, John.
Old man yells at cloud. They've looked flat from the first drive in the preseason Saints game.
Okay, you heard it there from the source himself.
Right. So Taylor wasn't around then.
No, exactly right. It's so ridiculous to, Chiefs are 8-4. This is all Taylor Swift's fault. Oh, my gosh. Stop. You sound ridiculous. So here's Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. They're talking about this in this Time Magazine Person of the Year story. And this is the quote that I really respect from her and kind of how this relationship has unfolded. Time Magazine writes here, given her complex history with public interest in her dating life, it seems noteworthy that her relationship with Travis Kelce is played out so publicly. Swift gently pushes back, saying, quote, this all started when Travis very adorably put me on blast on his podcast, which I thought was metal as hell. What does that mean, by the way, metal as hell? Gosh, I'm not that much older than Taylor Swift, and I feel like I don't know what that phrase means. Cool, I guess? Anyway. We started hanging out right after that, so we actually had a significant amount of time that no one knew, which I'm grateful for because we got to know each other. By the time I went to that first game, she's talking about that Bears game in late September, we were a couple. I think some people think that they saw our first date at that game. We would never be psychotic enough to hard launch a first date. The larger point for Swift is that there's nothing to hide. She adds, quote, when you say a relationship is public, that means I'm going to see him do what he loves. We're showing up for each other. Other people are there, and we don't care. The opposite of that is you have to go to an extreme amount of effort to make sure no one knows that you're seeing someone. And we're just proud of each other, end quote. You know what? How about a round of applause for that attitude?
I like it.
Screw the haters. We're a couple. Now, I don't know if they get married and have little kids here in Kansas City. I have no idea about that. Just please do it in that order. I know no one wants to do that anymore, but could you do that in the order, please? But I have no idea what that means for their future. But this whole thing about we must hide our relationship because it's Taylor Swift and he's an NFL star and, fans are going to be ridiculous and blame it on us when we lose and give Taylor credit when we win or something like. No. They met, they dated for a while. When she showed up at that Bears game, they were already solidly a couple, and now they're supporting each other in their professional lives. That's what normal people do. Now, of course, with them, it's on a worldwide scale, but that's what two single people who both have careers, albeit not famous ones, but that's what you do, right? With your significant other. When you met them, you supported each other in their careers, their ventures. They're both very professionally driven people. That's what normal people do. I don't hate that. I respect that. I think it'd be weirder if they were now going around trying to do hidden dates and secret dates. I mean, Kelce had to get himself a house here with some privacy. A guy was living on the street corner in the Northland, having every Daily Mail reporter hanging out there and sleeping outside his home. I don't blame him for getting some privacy and moving out of there. But, there is nothing about this that I don't like. And I told you, when it first came out, I was an eye roller. I didn't care for it. I was like, this is going to be a distraction. It's not. It's a storyline that's fun to follow, that's cool to follow. I hope it works out for him. If it doesn't, whatever. Not going to be any skin off my back. And in the end, it will have zero impact on the Chiefs' success this season. Zero. There is no way that anything that happens the rest of this season, anyone will be able to blame on Taylor Swift or give credit to Taylor Swift for. It will be irrelevant, and it will have nothing to do with how this team performs the rest of the way. And then when it comes to the politics of Taylor Swift, this has obviously been a big talking point as well. What is Taylor Swift going to do in 2024 for the election? We know that she has gotten political in the past. Well, she's really only gotten political a couple of times. One main time is when she came out in 2018, I believe it was, against Marsha Blackburn, a now Republican U.S. Senator in Tennessee. And by the way, Marsha Blackburn cleaned the clock of the Democrat in Tennessee. Did very well. So Taylor Swift endorsing the Democrat in the Tennessee U.S. Senate race 5 years ago did absolutely nothing for the Democrat. And then in 2024, as you may recall, what Taylor Swift did is she encouraged people to register to vote. She actually did that. Hold on. Let me make sure I have that right because I'm reading this article here. She encouraged people to register to vote on November 7th, which resulted in 35,000 registrations. Now, she has 272 million followers, and she got 35,000 people to register to vote. And how many of those people are actually going to go out and vote? Maybe a fraction of that 35,000? Trust me, Taylor Swift is not swaying any elections. She's not. And frankly, I don't think she's going to do anything in 2024. I think she's going to stay out of it. I hope Travis helps her do that, by the way. I hope Travis says, let's just stay out of that. There's nothing for us to gain, and there isn't anything for them to gain. For either of them, but especially her. There's nothing for them to gain. It's the old Michael Jordan line of Republicans buy sneakers too. Every athlete and every superstar should be living by that rule. And I believe Taylor Swift will do that. I don't think she's going to come out and endorse Joe Biden. You'd have to be insane right now if you're a top of your game, most popular superstar on planet Earth, to throw your support behind an 80-year-old guy who doesn't know where he is half the time, doesn't know which side of the stage to walk off of. You would be absolutely nuts to throw your support behind that guy. For what purpose? Protecting the country from what? Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis or whoever? Yeah, that is career suicide. There's no point in doing that. So I don't, believe she's going to do it. And even if she did do it and she got like 35,000 people to register to vote and a fraction of those people went out and voted, you think that's going to sway an election in Georgia, in Arizona, in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania? I don't think it's going to. We always talk about how no one really cares what celebrities think, but now everyone's freaking out, or some people are freaking out. Oh, Taylor Swift's going to give the election to Joe Biden. One, I don't see any evidence to suggest she will get political in 24. And two, on the outside chance she does, it's not going to make the difference that some people think it will. 913-408-7957.
Picked a good town to be. This is a great place to be the big fish in the little pond, right? Well, people more or less leave you alone. We saw the Trader Joe's story with Travis, right? Taylor comes in here. She gets her gas, buys a couple lottery tickets. We see her every Wednesday. Yeah. People, that's all that would happen around here. It wouldn't be like this whole big pestering thing and crowds following her and stuff.
There's no page six.
Some guy going, she comes in here, Casey's, and gets pizza every once in a while.
Now, I will turn on Taylor Swift if she ends up liking the taco pizza from Casey's. That will be the end of Taylor Swift in my mind if she turns out to be a taco pizza girl. Then we've got problems. 913-408-7957. It is 8:14 on a busy Wednesday morning. It's flying by on KCMO Talk Radio. Welcome in. David Stokes, bottom of the hour. Be sure to join us for that conversation. I'm going to follow up the mayor's conversation about this ordinance. I'm going to follow up that conversation with the mayor and get the other side of whether or not landlords should be allowed to reject tenants based solely on, let's say, criminal background with David Stokes in 15 minutes. So we got the mayor's opinion, and now on the other side, we're going to get the dissenting opinion from my guy, David Stokes. So that's going to be a very good conversation. The debate's taking place tonight, of course, on News Nation between Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Chris Christie. We'll keep tabs on that as well and have a full reaction tomorrow morning on KCMO Talk Radio. Let me tell you what's happening during the holidays here over at Diamonds Direct. They've got a lot of amazing gifts ideas, stunning eternity band, a pair of diamond stud earrings, something new, eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring. At Diamonds Direct, they have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at about $300. It's your best destination for holiday jewelry. And the experts at Diamonds Direct, led by Angie, she is now the GM. She's been there since day one, as far as I know. She's been helping us for years. They can help you pick out that headliner gift. So whether it's just that holiday gift that you're ready to get, or you're finally gearing up for that engagement, stop dragging your feet, guys. Just do it already. Diamonds Direct will help you, and you can make your purchase even more affordable. Diamonds Direct has special financing, so you can spread out those payments. Details, special showroom hours, and the holiday gift guide is available at diamondsdirect.com, located right in town at 119th and Row. I love you to death, but you can't really be afraid of Taylor Swift, can you? I mean, you think that Taylor Swift is the Yoko Ono of the Chiefs? I'm not seeing it that way. 913-408-7957. Steven is in Kansas City. What do you got for me, Steve?
Pete, we're still undefeated at home with Taylor Swift, so bring her to the Buffalo game. Now, I'm going to challenge your contention here. The margins, Trump is leading in every swing state, but the margins are not that huge. You're telling me that Taylor Swift could not shift an election? I mean, if she goes full bore, I mean, if she goes full crazy on AOC, not supporting AOC.
But you're suggesting that Taylor Swift's going to be like doing rallies for Grandpa in Detroit or something like that?
It's happened before. Remember Springsteen doing rallies for Obama?
Wait, hold on. And you know who else Springsteen did rallies for? Hillary. He was in Philadelphia. The night before the election singing his songs. And I love the guy to death, but that was a huge mistake. And how did that work out for Hillary Clinton?
Just remember, if they get desperate enough, if they start trailing, anything could happen. Like you said, anyone could show up at these rallies. Maybe Nikki Haley could go get Taylor's support. I mean, listen, all these liberals are conservatives. They just are afraid of the censorship, of losing money. My favorite quote is, ironically enough, from Al Sharpton. He goes, the way there would not be a Democratic Party if the Republicans could have outreach to the black church and the women and men inside the black church, because they're all conservative, but they're on the take. They're afraid of getting censored.
Here's the thing: that's not Taylor Swift's demographic anyway. Taylor Swift's demographic is young woke white women.
The same principle is exactly in play. She's too scared to say something that could be construed as conservative.
I agree.
Like every reverend, I
agree. I guarantee Taylor Swift is not telling her accountants to pay the federal government more of her money for taxes than she already does. Right? We agree on that.
She's too smart. She's too smart to be used as a tool by a loser like Kamala or Joe Biden.
So now you're coming around. Now you're coming around on me. So thank you, Steve. You're coming around and you're proving my point. She is a smart business lady. In 2018, she was still in her 20s. Probably got a little caught up in the Nashville hype and the Nashville scene, and she thought that she could sway a U.S. Senate race against Marsha Blackburn, and it failed miserably. I think Marsha Blackburn won by double digits. That should have been a wake-up call. What did she do most recently? She said, go ahead and register to vote. Now, maybe that's her indirectly saying vote for one political party over the other based on who her audience probably is or how the audience sways. But at the same time, she learned her lesson. And if you think she's going to hitch her wagon to this old man who doesn't know left from right, I mean, that would be the worst business decision in history. Taylor Swift's very smart and a very good businesswoman. I don't think she's touching this election with a 10-foot pole, John.
Well, and it's just funny how any celebrity might say, hey, just vote. basic message. Henry Winkler, we're like, hey, gee, thanks, Fonz. But if it's Taylor Swift, go vote. There's a secret. No. Celebrities say that all the time. It's good for them to just say that. Go vote.
Yeah.
Participate.
And by the way, how many people who weren't going to vote then magically get up and go vote because Taylor Swift tells you to go vote? Like, I know that the Swifties are kind of cultish in some ways, and you got to have the friendship bracelets and the whole thing. But come on. I know the margins are going to be tight if it's, a rematch of 2020, and God bless America, since that's what it's looking like again. My goodness. But she is not swaying tens of thousands of votes in individual swing states. That's not happening.
Got the clout of the UAW, Pete. Right? People are all terrible. Well, she's going to swing. Well, so does every organization. They tell their people what to do. Well, churches.
I'd be much more concerned about unions. They know how to mobilize. Like, they will drag you out the door, go throw you out to the polls. They'll say, you take off your lunch break, you got an hour and a half instead of an hour, and you go to the damn polls. Taylor Swift just going to put on Instagram, hey, make sure you go.
This is really important, guys.
Yeah, that's all she's going to do. She's not ruining the Chiefs. She's not ruining Travis Kelce. She's not going to ruin the 2024 election. She's not going to be the reason if Donald Trump loses. I promise you that. So just pump the brakes.
I saw her in the war room at the draft last year, Pete. Right? Like she's in there.
Advising Brett Veach.
Listen, the Chiefs' problems this year stem from back then. So not so much to do with who's attending the game.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Oh, boy. Well, I'm having a great Wednesday morning. It's my oldest daughter's, Claire's, birthday today. Happy birthday, Claire. She's 5 years old. It's helping me come off of that Villanova loss last night to Kansas State in overtime. Oh, man, that one stung. Coming up, we're going to talk to David Stokes of the Show Me Institute and get his reaction to some of what the mayor said regarding forcing tenants into apartments, even if the landlords don't want them there. That's next.